Howdy nerds! We have comic books and literature to discuss this time around. This is actually a shorter section, I should say. It comes from a much longer video that I like to call The Week in Nerddom. You can find the full video over on the main channel at Generally Nerdy on YouTube or over on Rumble, Generally Nerdy. You can go check it out there as well. But since we're here, we might as well get to it. This is comic books and literature, all of the written stuff that we have that's worth talking about, I guess I should say. Comic books and literature. We have one follow-up on comic books. We talked, honestly, in the last pre-recorded episode, as well as in the most recent live episode. We talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Lost Years, The Last Ronin, The Lost Years. So many qualifiers. But we talked about 4 new turtles taking over in the Last Ronin continuity. We now know the names of these 4 turtles. We have Odynn, Uno, Moja, and Yi. Moja and Yi, both female characters. So this is the first time of the main 4 that we have female characters part of that main 4. And none of them, aside from Yi, really have a parallel to an original Turtles member. Yi, her original parallel is seemingly to Donnie, but again, we won't really know the full details of these characters probably for months and years to come. But either way, I'm still pretty stoked about this new comic book, not gonna lie. Then we do have some regular ass news here in the comic books and literature section. First up, we have a very interesting situation with Lithios. So this is technically a AAA gaming company, but it's going to be this weird shotgun approach to this new way of doing storytelling. So there's going to be a comic book related to this, but Lithios, I'm pretty sure. Lithios teamed with a TikTok influencer as well as an Instagram influencer. Michael Lee is the TikToker, Slider Jesus is the Instagrammer. It's going to be this narrative that takes place on the Michael Lee TikTok page. It's going to be episodic content there. Happens every Sunday with a new episode. I believe the first 5 episodes are currently live on Michael Lee's TikTok page. But like I said, there's also going to be a comic book that is telling this story as well, and then I think even a video game is in the works, though there's no release date just yet for the comic book or for the video game, but specifically the live action episodes are once again live on TikTok. So very, very interesting. Let's move right along. Next up, we have Captain America Cold War. This is a new book announced by Marvel where we are going to be pitting Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson against each other. We kind of all saw this one coming. This kind of feels like a little bit of a desperate grab at the fans. Hey, you haven't really been reading much, but look at this. We got Steve Rogers back on the page, as well as Sam Wilson, and they're battling it out to see who's really the best Cap. And let's put this one out there. I think going forward, if I'm going to be seeing into the future, I bet, that's right, both of them are probably going to maintain the title of Captain America to some degree, just in separate books, kind of like they currently are, because they're not going to, well, they might disappoint current fans or old school fans, I guess you could say, by giving it to Sam Wilson, or they could upset the woke crowd by giving it just to Steve Rogers. But they're not super likely to do the latter, but they are kind of likely to do the former. So very possibly Sam could be the only Cap coming out of this, but I don't think that's very likely. That is, though, what we have for comic books and books. So let's get into the comic books and literature. Sorry, I forgot. It's right here. We changed the name for the new season. So suggestions for comic books and literature. We're going with literature for this suggestion, and it is Diamond Age. You thought ChatGPT was nuts when it comes to AI. Read what the crazy, intelligent brain of Neal Stephenson has to offer from 1995, mind you. Diamond Age, or A Young Lady's Illustrated Primer, is a phenomenal science fiction book. And honestly, with all of the craziness in AI that's going on right now, has probably never been more relevant. Go read it. Go see what our future is going to be. Go check it out. It's a great book. You won't regret it. Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick. I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.